All right, today ended up being a very generous and very much bullish day, just as I had expected this morning. But these are the two trades that I had taken, and looking at price coming into the day. Actually, we'll just hide all this. So looking on a 1 hour chart. I was looking to see upside today just from the fact that we can get rid of that. Just from the fact that looking at this from a very non-technical objective standpoint, this looks like the making of a market maker buy model. And on the bottom of this, we had tapped into this daily, actually weekly for value gap, and looking on the hourly, price came down and we start coming back up. We get our market structure shift right here. So this would technically be our unicorn setup. So coming into the day, I was very bullish, and even looking on a 4 hour, we have a market structure shift right here, as well as for impulsive displacement on the 4 hour. So then bumming into the 1 hour, we do have this value gap right here. We consolidated overnight. So then we were able to drop right into the morning, actually. So looking at what happened overnight, and even on that 4 hour, or the 1 hour, but we can kind of look at this as we have our accumulation here, and then we have our manipulation down. So we can be expecting a not a manipulation, but a distribution move to the upside here. So looking at that on a 1 minute, now everything will start showing up. But looking at that on the 1 minute, price did come down and tap into another little 15-minute, but overall we were in a position where I was looking to go long just as we had displaced. We have a big for value gap, price is coming down, we're hitting equilibrium of it. So I am looking for longs at this point, and before market opens, price is just kind of consolidating, and the power of three ended up becoming very, very important today. Just in the fact that during the whole night, we had our accumulation move, our manipulation down, and now we're expecting a distribution move up. So I did want to see longs. So price opened up, it came down, and we swept these relative, or not a relative, but these equal lows that was in place of our sell side. And at this point, I was looking to take price higher. So we have the singular 1 minute for value gap here. So taking an inverse is not part of my model, but after today, I'm really seriously considering it, just in the fact that there weren't a lot of entries today. So right there, we inverse that 1 minute for value gap, and I immediately go long, targeting here. I did only have one contract, so I did get all out here, but targeting here, and then our internal buy side here. But we price inverses, and then it immediately moves up to buy side, and we do end up taking that buy side up there. So at this point, I am feeling pretty bullish and thinking that this buy model will end up playing out, and we will see these highs taken. There is a lot of liquidity resting above here, and I'm thinking that today we might book for it with how impulsive and quickly price was displacing. So then looking on MNQ, so I took that first trade on NQ, and the second trade I took on MNQ just because I had already taken a winning trade. I was preserving capital. So I do want to point out that up till now, we have some accumulation, manipulation, and then we have distribution to the upside. And again, right here, what is happening? We have accumulation, manipulation, and distribution to the upside. So that power of three ended up playing out 3 different times today, 2 times on the 1 minute, but that also showed me how powerful the inversion was, and that there's not always an opportunity to get in when you're waiting for fair value gaps. But we had a singular 1 minute fair value gap here, and I was looking to go long if this fair value gap was inversed, and it was inversed in one candle, so I decided to go long with my stop below mean threshold of this last down close candle, targeting these internal highs. And I had to step away from the chart, so I completely closed, but my next target would have been this high over here, and then let runners go to that buy side, that large buy side that I had marked out before. A lot going on this chart. So looking back into the 1 minute, price did inverse, and I entered long, 0 drawdown. Price ran right up to our buy side objective, and after that I was done. But we were provided a clean entry for my original model, which would have been right here, which was also in line with a bullish 1 minute breaker. Price tapped into it, and also looking at this range, is this equilibrium? Price, look at that. So breaker, 1 minute breaker. Also, fair value gap, price ticked 1 tick past discount. This is equilibrium of this dealing range, 1 tick past discount. Almost perfect, but we hit that 50, that equilibrium, that breaker, as well as this 1 minute fair value gap, and price immediately starts moving there. So your entry could have been there, could have been on the retest of this fair value gap, but a trade would most likely have looked like this. We would have just gone with a close below the breaker and this fair value gap, targeting this internal liquidity already at a 1 to 2 3/4, and then targeting that external range high time frame liquidity. So today did end up being a very generous buy side day right after NFP in the morning, and from, well, let's take a look. From the morning we ran, where are we at? From the morning we ran 309 points to our highest point in about 6 hours. But really identifying power of three was very helpful today. And even here again, this is what I was talking about on the higher time frame, our accumulation, our manipulation down, and then our beautiful distribution up. But buy side delivery was not in short supply today, and those trades ended up panning out very well. And our standard deviation also aligns near that original swing high. Drew that the wrong way, but not our original swing high. However, the external range liquidity, if we look where this has the potential to end up, this is just below that buy side delivery that we have marked out there. So it did end up delivering very beautifully, and we did leave a high, one more high intact for later if we want to take it now, or possibly leave it for the rest of the week. But we also do have a 4-hour fair value gap, and looking at price and its bullishness and how heavily we've been displacing, I would assume price would come back down into here and move up and take this buy side. But after that, I'm not sure. We got a lot of liquidity, sell side liquidity resting, a lot of nice sell side if we want to come back and dig deeper into this weekly fair value gap.